Who's the greatest painter in the world? Me. Who's the greatest painter in the world? Me. I am the greatest. I am the greatest. I am the greatest in the world. Oh. Hello and welcome to another episode of me painting again. You startled me. I wasn't expecting any company today. I was just going to paint on my own. With no cameras on. But thanks for joining another episode of me painting again. Oh yeah, we're painting again. Building myself up to paint. So we haven't got many colours today. Not many colours. We've got titanium white, ivory black, Prussian blue, alizarin crimson, burnt sienna, and Van Dyke brown. Applause for me. So I've just covered the canvas in some liquid white all over. Somebody didn't gesso it very well. So I'm going to have to fire them. You've got to be really ruthless in this business. Fire the weak links. Wait, that was me. Well, we've got to let people off, you see. Some people make mistakes now and then. We have to let them off. Right, let's carry on. Let's do this painting. We've got the brush out. Let's get some of this Prussian blue. Thoughts. Penny for your thoughts. So we'll do blue sky. I was under an R in a bit there. I want blue sky. Blue sky. There's no liquid white in that area. You see that? See, I put so little liquid white on in areas there's none. Yeah, do an accident there. Doesn't really matter, because if you've got some in some places and some's missing in others, well, they'll mix together anyway. Right. Bit more in that corner. Just drop the old paper down. Get my brush and my paper. Liquid white. Now I have a think. I need to have a think. So I've got an idea. We'll blend this out while we think. Blend. Nothing like a good blend of the old paints. Sky coming right down here. I missed a little bit there. That doesn't matter. So we've got questions to ask ourselves. Do we want clouds? First question. I kind of do actually. I do want clouds. So I want clouds and I want a mountain. I want a mountain right there. Sort of high up there, maybe. So we can't have too many clouds, can we? You know what we're doing? We're making this up again. We're just making stuff up as we go along. So let's get a tiny bit of crimson and some titanium white. In fact, the amount of crimson that was on my brush is enough. I might get some cloud. That's nice. Did you see that? Did you see? Not much. Thinking. Maybe a cloud sort of there. See that? We can choose. I like a cloud actually. I always think about clouds that I see. That's what I tend to do when I'm painting. I always think about what I've seen. And you get so many different clouds. We get clouds almost look like there's a face in it and an arm. You see all sorts. It amazes me actually how different clouds are. Some clouds. Just using that fan brush. Got a bit of movement going on, which I like. This is what I was after really. Movement. The thing is, you do get some interesting patterns, interesting shapes. With a nice thin one there. Just using that fan brush. Maybe that'll do. Maybe that'll do. Maybe that one goes off. Goes off there. Goes off there. Maybe there's another one there. We can do that. Let's grab the old 2-inch brush again. Give it a quick wipe. Might zoom in a bit on the camera. Just zoomed in a bit so you can see a bit better when I paint in my mountain and then do this bit as well. It's quite a challenge to zoom in and out because I've got to remember to zoom out. So I'm just going to go over this, I think. Just go over the top of it, lift it up a bit, lift it up a bit, go across. Just all the way across, look. Just needed a bit of a blend. You can blend here and there if you'd like. Maybe that needs a bit of a blend there. You have a look at your sky that you've created and then you can make your ideas come alive. That's the beauty of painting, because especially when you're inventing an area, you can do whatever you like. I like that. No rules, you see, no rules, whatever you want to do. So you can go, well, I'm doing it like this is the way I like it. And I don't care if anyone doesn't like it, because it's mine, and I like it. Because people always think, oh, you're a painter, you should be selling your paintings. Which is not as easy as it sounds. People always think, oh, you can paint, you must be selling paintings. It's a lot harder to just paint what you... Not harder, it removes your own enjoyment and fun. If you're constantly thinking, oh, I need to paint this to sell it, where's the enjoyment going to be? It's going to be pressure. You don't want that kind of pressure. Not when you're an artist and you want to create whatever you like. So, try using this camera for my close-up. Did you see the close-up? Cut across. So you flatten the paint out, cut across, little roll of paint. I'm sure you probably already knew. So let's think where our mountain's going to be. That was a mixture of alizarin crimson, Prussian blue and ivory black. I forgot to mention. I'm going to have a mountain there. So, you're thinking of your outside shape. The outside shape. Press on quite hard. It's quite nice. It's quite a nice mountain. I'm liking it. Take some of that away. And there we go. Finished. We'll send that to the Museum of Modern Art. Say, this is what I see. This is what my heart wanted to say. Your museum can buy it off me for a mere 10 million. Let's use this 1-inch brush and let's pull this out. Or should we use another 2-inch? I've got a big canvas. I should use the 2-inch brush. Right, let's go. Wee. The Prussian blue, the alizarin crimson. There we go. Got quite a nice distant look to it, doesn't it? It's nice. I like it. I think it's brilliant. You know, you should be saying that. I know I've said it before. You want to be excited. Be excited about your painting. You want to be enjoying yourself. Enjoy your painting. I do. I'm excited. I'm excited now because I get to put highlights on. Ooh. Fantastic. Now I've changed knives because this one's been cleaned properly. Not like the terrible cleanliness of the other brush. I mean knife. Which isn't clean at all. And now I've got paint all over my fingers. Right, so you stand back, have a look at your painting, go da-di-da-di-da, where do I want my highlights? Oh, we've got light on that cloud there, look, so it's this way. So we can do that now. We get our white, pull it out, little roll of paint, cut across, and then we go do. Right, so we're watching that outside edge as we're doing it. That outside edge bit. Let's see. Boop. Well, we made a right mess of that. Oh God, we're not looking properly. There we go. There it is. Oh, there we go. That was better. And then so to get that paint to break, it took me a while to get used to it, gotta be honest. You have to use light pressure. You get the knife loaded with that line of paint, and I used to do really thin lines, and you need a thicker line than you think. And then you're holding it like this at an angle. And if you can see, it's at an angle, and then very light pressure. Just let it sort of pour off. You get areas like this, I quite like, and I can come back with hardly any paint and go like that. Now I tell myself how great I am at doing it. It's fun, isn't it? And then there's this little blip there, I quite like that. Blip, a bit of white there. There we go. Then we can think about it, mull over it over a cup of coffee. Ooh, what do we like, what we don't like, what can we change? I quite like it. Get some of this blue. Zip. Some of the white and blue. White and blue. Here we go. Cut across. Little roll of paint again. And then we can go into this shadow. You want to be really light again. Let's get that little bit there. Bloop. And then nice and light. And sort of stand back, have a look at it. I kind of like the idea. Get that cruising in with the white. I like the idea of another piece. Because when you're painting it, you start seeing things. I can see another piece here. Right there. Yeah, I quite like that. I might go with that. Nice distant mountain. Now we can use, let's use that other brush. Got less paint on it. Let's give it a tap. Up the mountain. Mist this area. And lift it up. And then sort of stand back, have a look. Are you happy with it? Do you want to do more? I quite like it because it's going to be quite far away anyway. So the only thing I think, you can get really picky like this. I think it needs a bit more on here. That's how picky you can get. Maybe a bit more there. Yeah, that'll do. Now I want to use a little bit of this white, and just sort of clean that up there. Just change things a little bit. Give certain areas a bit more. You can pull areas forward again like I've done there. Whatever you like. I think we'll go with that. We can send that back now. So let's get the brush, big brush, into this mountain mixture again. So what I want to do now, I want to put a load of trees in front, a load of big ones. Sort of like this sort of, and I like practicing these trees. Go to about there. Corner of the brush. We'll bring them to about there maybe. Another one here, a bit taller I think. I have to keep checking my camera because if I don't get in the habit of that, we'll end up missing out a load of this painting. Okay, we've got another one there. So you want to load your brush, really load it. Really load both sides. Both sides. And then corner of the brush. As you come down, you just put a bit more pressure. And one there as well. See, not all of these trees are going to be as big. Some are going to be smaller. Some of them aren't quite grown here long enough. So they're a bit smaller. And over here. And blue, black, crimson. The further down you go, I tend to switch the brush round. Another one. Let's go that size. This is really great practice, you know. It really is great practice. Get them trees going. Maybe there's a taller one there. We can make a decision here as well. I like the idea of another tree there. Maybe there's another one there. So down here it's just darkness, isn't it? I'll put another one in there, maybe. Nice little skinny one. Another one there, I think. A bit smaller. Yeah, stand back, have a look. Might have one there. There. Problem I get loads of ideas while I'm painting, and I'm like, oh, I could have done this, or I could have done that. I'm starting to wonder if I should leave this, or I should put some like bushes or something. I kind of like the idea of something like that, so you can kind of see. Yeah, actually. What if you're putting a load of trees that will start coming out from there, like that maybe, and then they're getting bigger and bigger as they get over here. Then we've got this nice strip of trees. This one should be bigger. Oh, that's better. Yeah, I like that. We need to highlight those, and we also... Oh, there's so much to do! So much to do, isn't there? Let's just use the knife like this. There could be more. There could be more trees behind. Sort of drag that paint up. We don't know how many is there. Could be tons of them. See, I've thought of ways to make it look like there's tons, but it's too late. I've already painted these. But it's alright. So now, what I'm going to do is I think I'll highlight these trees. And then, it's not light coming this way. I'll highlight these ones first. I might dip into... Just going to dip into liquid white, thin this paint down, you see. I thin this down a bit. Get a bit of that crimson. A bit of the crimson. Thin down. I can put some snow on these trees. So what's this light coming this way? Some snow here. Blub, 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 blub. Areas, if you don't want there to be snow, you don't put it on. Just put snow on where you want it to be. A bit of snow there as well. Blub, 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 blub. So it sticks easily because of the liquid white in it. Something like that. And then these ones, maybe I'll just put a little bit on this bit of the edge here. No, we'll put some on. We want these to be snowy as well. It's not quite as bright. You can see indications of snow. Maybe on these. Maybe I could whiten a few of these up a bit. Yeah, that's a bit better. Right, using my big brush, let's mist it up at the base. I'll pull that out actually. Looks like could be where the snow is. I could always miss that. I'll get a little bit of white on this brush. Just miss that away there. Use this in here. This worked out. Some of this colour in here. Yeah, there we go, let's got that started. Now what I'm thinking is, wipe that brush, a bit of snow. A bit of snow up here. I don't mind about the way it's picking up the undercolour. I can bring the white into it like that. And then here as well. I want this bit to be darker, so just wipe my brush a little bit and pull some of this. Pull some of this out. So you can have like an area that goes in there. Just by doing that. Pull that out a little bit. Maybe this bit's got more snow on it. I'll have to zoom out a bit. That's white. That's snow going. Nice bit of snow there. Yeah, something like that. And then what I'm thinking, what if we had a cabin like there, right in amongst these trees, like whoops. This cabin's getting bigger. So you're scraping it off. Scraping it off. Focusing on that top, that roof needs to be down, and then this, the part of there needs to be in line with there. So that needs to be like that. Something like that. I'm not a perfect cabin builder. You might be amazing, so when you do yours, make sure you do it better than mine. So here's some dark Van Dyke brown, cut across, a little roll of paint. We want to get this side even. Like that, and then get this bit of the cabin. Putting our dark in. This will be a nice place to hide away from the snowy, cold weather. Could have like a log fire in here. In fact, the guy that owns it, he does have a log fire in here. And he's telling me I need a chimney. Well, I could put a chimney in, but I need to do the roof first. Anyway, let's put a little bit of highlight in. bit of that burnt sienna, a little bit of the white, cut across, a little roll of paint. I actually want a really small roll of paint for this bit. And maybe a little bit more. Quite like that. It's probably a little bit too subtle. Go a little bit lighter. A bit lighter for this front bit anyway. That's where the light is, and we can cut some boards in. And cut in our little door. And maybe there'd be a window. There'd be a window over there. Let's get a little bit of this blue and white here. That could be a nice bit of window there. Yeah. Might use a bit of this just to go around the door as well. Just going to wipe mine dry. My paper towel has got extremely dirty. Now, well, I want to darken that window. Let's get a little bit of pure Prussian blue. There we go, that's better. Maybe I'll have a little bit of a sheen to the window. Maybe there's a bit of snow on the windowsill. Yeah. And then maybe there's a bit of snow that's on top of the door there. Who knows? Right, let's get some of this white. Cut across. A little roll of paint. We can get the roof in. And this outside bit as well. Something like that. And then I want to get the chimney. As we did say, it would have a chimney. Something like that. And I want a bit of snow on top of the chimney. There we go, something like that. Now let's put some of this, let's thin a bit of white, a little bit of the paint thinner there. Let's get some snow up here. Yeah, nice little cabin there. Okay, I might get some of this blue and maybe we can have a path. There's a path that goes down here. There goes there. Maybe he goes off here. We can get some more snow going across. Maybe there's another tree right there. Why not? Let's get some of this dark. What if there's a tree and it's right here? Feels like there should be one right there. Right there. Get some dark, some crimson. A big tree right here. He's casting a bit of a shadow. He'd cast a huge shadow here. Yeah, maybe there's a tree there. Maybe there's some bushes here. We could do that. I like the idea of some bushes there. Yeah. We can make things up as we go along. I want some snow. We get this sort of snow brought together. Yeah. Okay. And now we've got this path coming down here. Maybe the path comes round. Maybe it does. Maybe the path goes around that tree. Comes over here. Something like that. Yeah, we got this here. Maybe there's some bushes there as well. So we want to do some bushes. And we need to highlight the big tree. So the two things I wanted to do is practice big trees. And practice painting cabins. So we can do both. Just get some of the liquid white into my brush. I'm going to put a bit of snow on this tree. Whenever we want snow. just sort of stand back, have a look at that. There we go, something like that. Maybe I could do a bit of a trunk in that. Bit of that brown. Maybe you would see a bit. Let's get some dark. Let's use this brush. There's a 2-inch brush, might as well. Some dark. And over this side as well. Get some all the darks. And get a bit of snow coming across here as well. I can put a little bit on here. So this isn't completely like smooth. Gives that bit a little bit more texture. Which I prefer. Yeah, and then use the knife to just creak in a few stick some twigs. Use the 1-inch brush to take out some titanium white. I'm gonna put some snow. Grab some more of this snow. A bit of a blip, 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 blip. Yeah, quite like that. Maybe I could do a bit of removal there. You know, stick some twigs here and there. I think maybe I could put in a little bush there. Why not? Once you start doing them, you start enjoying them. And maybe we'll call this one finished. A few bushes here and there, just to break up the colour. Bit dark in it. Yes, we'll call this one finished. So thanks very much for watching this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it gave you some ideas. And I'll see you in another one. Cheers. Bye.